There are a few things in my life that signal to my brain that it is officially summer. Things like school wrapping up, my parents opening up the family lake house, and Bites and Pints at Kennywood Park. There's just something so quintessentially summer about Kennywood Park's Bites and Pints Food Festival. The sun is shining, crowds of people are milling around the Lagoon, steel curtain is roaring over the midway. It's just a vibe. And that season is officially here once again. Bites and Pints is one of our favorite events that Kennywood offers, second only to Holiday Lights, which is the park's Christmas event, and it will forever be my favorite, especially as they keep growing it and making it bigger and better. This food event, which Kennywood has dubbed Pittsburgh's most thrilling food festival, always seems to trigger a lot of questions though. So I wanted to create a guide to the event. What is it? What can you expect? I wanted to give some tips and tricks and answer some frequently asked questions that I see over and over again in local Facebook groups. So what is it? Bites and Pints is a food and drink festival that takes place on the weekends at Kennywood Park. If you aren't familiar with Kennywood, I recently made an insider's guide to the park video that gives an overview of the park. I will link that below as a great starting point and an introduction to Kennywood. The food festival concept is not new to the amusement park industry. Eating around the world is an idea that stems from Disney's Epcot, where many people flock to eat in the different countries located around the World Showcase. In 1996, Epcot debuted their International Food and Wine Festival, which features specific food booths around the World Showcase, shining light on different countries and culinary specialties outside of the countries that are already located in Epcot. The concept caught like a wildfire. People just went crazy over the idea. Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival specifically draws massive crowds every year, and these are not thrill seekers, they're food aficionados. Drawing from this success, other parks have begun to introduce their own versions of the food festival concept. Dollywood hosts their Flower and Food Festival in the spring, Busch Gardens hosts their Food and Wine Festival in early summer, and Kennywood hosts Bites and Pints from Memorial Day through the end of June. Bites and Pints was officially introduced to the Pittsburgh audience in 2021, and every year this event gets bigger and better. It draws huge crowds to the park and really emphasizes that fun summer festival vibe. The park has constructed booths that center around the lagoon in the main section of the park, and each booth houses a different country, which offers a variety of foods and drinks to choose from. In 2025, the park is featuring 8 different countries during Bites and Pints, which are Greece, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Poland, South Korea, and new for this season are Cuba and Spain. Each country features 3 different bites or food options. They range from seafood to pasta to sweet treats and beyond. And each country also features several different pints or alcohol options. This ranges from beer to wine to specialty cocktails. In other words, there are tons of food and drink options to try. Truly something for everyone, even the eaters who might be a bit picky like our kids. So how does this work? Bites and Pints can be tackled in 2 different ways. Option A, you can simply walk up to any booth and purchase any food or beverage item individually. Outside of each booth is a large menu advertising not only what food and drink items are offered, but their standalone price. In other words, if you know you only want to sample a few things, this a la carte route is the perfect option for you. Option B, you can purchase a tasting punch card that gives you 8, 12, or 15 food and drink items. You take this card from booth to booth and you can mix and match any number of foods or drinks from each location. This is an open level card, so you can use it to get 15 servings of churros if you'd like. You can use it to get 15 different drinks. You can go from booth to booth and simply choose the foods and drinks that sound interesting to you. It's truly a choose-your-own-adventure type of system. These tasting punch cards are good for the entirety of the Bites and Pints season that they are purchased in. So let's say you go this weekend, you purchase a 15 sample tasting card, but you only get 7 items. You can come back the following weekend and use that same card to get your remaining 8 things. You can also share these cards, which is what we do. As much as our children really want to have their own personal punch cards, that just doesn't make sense. So we typically get one 15 sample card and we split those items between the 4 of us. You might wonder, with 24 different food options and 23 different drink options, maybe you need to get yourself 2 or 3 of the 15 sample cards so you can try everything. And that's totally up to you. I can tell you from personal experience, the 15 sample card is plenty for our family of 4, and we always leave completely stuffed. And that's due to the sizes of the Bites and Pints. So speaking to the food, the portion sizes are fabulous. The corned beef slider is not a slider, but it's a half of a sandwich piled high with beef and cheese and cabbage. The gyro is a full-size gyro that they overflow with meat, lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. Every single option that we tried, and even the ones that we didn't but saw other people trying, were surprisingly large. The park might call them bites, but these are definitely not bite-sized portions. Which, to be honest, is one of the things that really sets Kennywood's Food Festival apart from others and makes the guests come back year after year, bringing their friends and family. You truly feel like you're getting an incredible value for your money, and the food is a wonderful quality. Speaking to the drinks, they are actually served in 2 separate sizes. If you're redeeming spots on your tasting card for drinks, you will receive a smaller size than if you are outright purchasing the same drink. For example, Derek purchased the Atomic Dog Original Hard Cider from the Italy booth outright. This means he got a full 16-ounce glass. If he would have redeemed a spot on our tasting card for the same drink, he would have received a 7-ounce glass. That's the same size pina colada that I got from the Spain booth. There are no size differences between the tasting card versus buying a la carte with the food, but there is the size difference with the drinks. This is all notated on the signs outside of each booth, but it can be a bit confusing at first, which is why I wanted to make sure to address it. Pro tip, if you know you're going to buy a tasting card, you definitely want to buy it online instead of buying it in person at the park. Just like general admission tickets are always cheaper online, Bites and Pints tasting cards are discounted online as well. You simply hop over to Kennywood's website, choose which card you want to buy, make your purchase, and then show your receipt, which is emailed to you at the Welcome Center, and they will give you your tasting card. Kennywood even offers a special tasting card exclusively for season pass holders, giving them an extra 3 spots on their tasting card for free. It's just another little perk of being a Kennywood season pass holder and a small way for the park to say thank you for being a loyal Kennywood guest. As I said, once you purchase your tasting card online, you will receive an email with your receipt and a barcode, which you will present at the welcome booth. This booth sits at the front of the Lagoon, at the end of the main midway. That's where you start your delicious journey. If you will be purchasing alcohol with your tasting card, they will scan a copy of your ID at the welcome booth and give you a bracelet so you don't have to dig around and pull out your ID every time you order an alcoholic drink. In years past, they've had different policies with the ID process, and this new 2025 version seems much more efficient and effective. If you found the information I've shared so far helpful, would you do me a favor and like this video? That simply tells YouTube to show this video to other people who are searching for information and tips as they plan their own visit to Kennywood's Bites and Pints. Have you ever been to Kennywood for their Bites and Pints event? If so, what's your favorite food or drink item that you've had? My favorite food is always the gyro from Greece, but the churros from Spain, which is one of the new offerings in 2025, quickly became a family favorite this year. Bites and Pints is still a fairly new event for Kennywood Park to host, so it makes sense that a lot of people have questions about how it works. I see these questions surface in local Facebook groups all the time, so let's dive into the most frequently asked questions that I have seen lately. What do the cards cost? The cost of the tasting cards varies simply because the park is almost always running a discount or promotion around the cards. To purchase them in the park, you will pay full price, which for the 2025 season is $59.99 for the 12 sample card and $54.99 for the 8 sample card. However, as I mentioned, the park is almost always running some sort of discount or promotion online. I've seen the discount range from $10 to $15 off, so definitely buy your tasting cards online before heading to the park. Oh, and don't forget, if you're a season pass holder, there's that special 15 option tasting card just for you. Are the tasting cards a good value? The a la carte prices of each food item range from $5.99 to $8.99, with most items falling in the $7.49 price range. If we simply take that average and multiply it by a 12 sample tasting card, that's $89.88. So even at full price, that's a $30 savings. The drinks are a bit harder to calculate simply because you do get a smaller size than the a la carte price of $9.99, which is the drink price across the board. I'm not here to do a ton of math, but I think we can all agree that tasting card is clearly the way to go to get the best bang for your buck. And when you purchase your card online during a promotion, you get an even better deal. Needless to say, for less than $50, because we purchased our tasting card online during a promotion, and yes, we did purchase our own tasting card with our own money, so this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by the park. We are good friends with Kennywood and their media team and a lot of the employees there simply because it is our home park and we are there on a very regular basis. However, Bites and Pints is an event that we have no problem paying the money and enjoying for ourselves. But back to what I was saying, for less than $50, our family of 4 ate a huge variety of delicious food. Taking into consideration that going out to a nice restaurant typically costs us more than that, I would say this is a fantastic value. Are they full-size or just bite-sized portions? As I mentioned above, the food portion sizes always blow us away. The park might call them bites, but these are definitely not bite-sized portions. Our family of 4 split 15 items during our most recent visit to the park, and we left so full that we couldn't even eat dinner later that night. We ate a huge variety of food, from shrimp to tacos to gyros to dumplings to ice cream to churros, and somehow we completely missed getting anything from the Poland booth, which is where I always go to get kibasi and pierogies, which is a taste of my grandma's heritage. I guess you know what that means. A return trip is in order. What times are they open? For the 2025 season, Bites and Pints runs every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from May 23rd to June 29th. On Fridays, the booths open up at 4 p.m. and they run until 30 minutes prior to the park closing. On Saturdays and Sundays, the booths open up at 1 p.m. and run until 30 minutes prior to the park closing. We've attended the event across Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and in our experience, Fridays are the best nights to go. The crowd is typically a little bit smaller, but to be honest, as Bites and Pints grows in popularity, the crowds just get bigger and bigger. Thankfully, the park does staff their food booths very well. On average, there will be between 3 and 4 people working at each booth. This means that they are very efficient at preparing the food, and even though the lines might seem long, they do move very quickly. If I buy my tasting card online, where do I pick it up in the park? Repeat after me. It's not if you will buy your tasting card online, but when. Got it? Okay, good. Armed with the email that you receive from the park after buying your tasting card online, you're going to walk into the park, walk straight down the main midway, so past the old mill, the arcade, and Jackrabbit. The Lagoon will now be right in front of you. If you look to your left, the welcome booth will be the first booth that you see, and it is very clearly labeled. You'll take your email to them. The digital copy on your phone is fine, no need to waste ink and print it out. They'll give you your tasting card plus your wristband if you plan on sampling the alcohol. Do I have to use the entire tasting card in one day? This is the most common question I see asked, and the answer is no. Feel free to purchase the largest card you can and then come back to the park a few weekends in a row. The cards do not transfer from season to season. You can't buy tasting cards in 2025 and expect to use them in 2026. But Bites and Pints does run for 6 straight weekends. So buy a large card and treat yourself to several lovely evenings at Kennywood Park. If you can't tell, we love Bites and Pints. It's always such a fun event that kicks off an incredible summer season at Kennywood Park. The food is not only large, but really delicious. The quality is fabulous. This is definitely not your average fried amusement park food. And we just love the entire experience. We love trying the new and different cuisines and introducing our kids to food items that they might not normally be willing to try. But in a fun, festive amusement park atmosphere, sure, they'll take a bite out of something, even if it might look a bit different. And guess what? Most of the time, they like it. When Bites and Pints is going on, Kennywood Park takes on this whole new level of a beautiful, alive, summer festival feeling. It is so much fun. It's so delicious. And we love spending an evening at the park, eating and drinking our way around the lagoon. And I bet you will too.